Hi, I'm Anders Baardsgaard. And if you think back to the opening session, Keith had a couple of hand raisings, and I'm one of those who raised my hand on the first-timer question. I work at the university, the Arctic University of Norway in Tromsø, and I realize that some of you may not know where that is. So for your benefit, and so you might get an extra point on your next geography quiz. Here it is, 200 plus miles north of the Arctic Circle. That's the black line down there. This is about me trying to put some protocol analyzer functionality into my MacBook in the way that I want it. Of course, I'm not heading for a full-blown professional protocol analyzer functionality. It's just the ambitions are lower than that. And as I generally prefer the command line interface to GUI apps, it will have to be CLI based. And this is work in progress, just to make that clear. And unfortunately, I had a little bit less time on my hands so far in 2016, so the progress hasn't been all that phenomenal either. But I do have a rudimentary implementation that I will show you at the end. Now, why am I doing this? Of course, it's nice to have, you can come up with a number of reasons related to availability and cost of professional analyzer functions. But for me, this is also a learning opportunity. Because I think that if I am able to actually program my Mac to do helpful stuff relating to troubleshooting scenarios, then I'm more likely to understand the mechanisms underlying this. As I said, I'm using my MacBook, and I'm using free software. TCP dump to do the actual packet capture, and Rorschach, which is Wireshark's little brother. It's part of the Wireshark distribution, to extract fields. And I use Perl, my favorite programming language, which is of the scripting variety, like Python and Ruby and stuff, to count and present the results. This is my preferred way to do packet capture on a Mac. First I run, this is in the terminal application, of course. I run the airport command with the Z option to disconnect from the Wi-Fi. That is to avoid roaming and probing. Then I use the C and a channel number option to select channel, change channel. And then I do the actual capture. The third bullet point there is when you capture to a file. And the last one is piping the output to Rorschach to do field extraction. Just mention a couple of flags there. The lowercase I sets the interface, the Wi-Fi interface, which is EN0 on the MacBook. And the uppercase I is to set the laptop in, or the interface into monitor mode. So you're sure to capture all the traffic. Of course, there are some limitations. There's no spectrum analysis involved. I expect to have problems with advanced protocol capabilities like wide channels and frame aggregation. I may be able to recognize aggregated frames from the radio tap header. That's, I'll see. And there's bound to be some real-time limitations here, mostly because the 802.11 protocol is a very bit-oriented protocol with lots of information in single bits everywhere. And Perl doesn't excel in bit operations, so I expect some problems there. Also, I have no ambition to handle higher layer protocols or decryption for that matter. And of course, there's the usual problems with packet capture. Where do you put the monitoring station to catch as much traffic as possible? Now, my example is, I'm sure you're all familiar with the frame control header and the retry bit. Rorschach calls it wlan.fc.retry, so that's what I'm selecting for in the packet stream. And here you see sort of an example. It's split in three parts. You have the clients in the middle, and traffic from access point to the clients on the left-hand side, and on the other side it's traffic back from the clients to the access point. And each of those side sections have a packet count column and a retry percentage column. And this is more or less how it looks like now. Although I cut away half of the, I've cut away all the traffic from the clients to the access points just for not to crowd the image. And with relation to the previous slide, you can also see at the bottom there's a percentage of frame check errors, which mostly says something about the validity of the other numbers. From the QBSS information element in the beacons, I've picked out, you see up to the left, the station count and the utilization percent. And I've also included a column for dominating rate, data rate, and CTS and RTS counts per station. So that might give an image, a condensed image of some of the parameters in a WLAN cell. I have sort of a to-do list. Time permitting, I will do some more of this. Maybe particularly the MCS distribution instead of the actual data rates, because that might say something more about the effectiveness or efficiency of the communication in the cell. And I'm open for any good suggestions. That's it.
Thank you. Is it on GitHub or?
No, it's just my private project. If I manage to get something useful out of it, I will make it available, but for the time of being, it's not at that stage yet.